after putting it all together and you look at it, I honestly feel that we have the best staff in Knoxville. We have some new faces, we're revamping, and we already have what we've started with to begin with is sensational already. So again, something that we as a club should be very proud of. With that, I'm already looking at next year. Never stop. So
I think that's what it is, just constant evaluation, constant adaptation to what is going to be the best fit for those players at that moment in time, and always looking for the future, as well as focusing on how can we make things great in the present as well. I think that's the key to everything moving forward. And what vision do you have with the advertising side of things?
We have hired a graphic designer who right now has been working with us to get our tryout information out. Some of you guys maybe already received your tryout flyers from your schools. We ordered 10,000 of them and they're out there just waiting for kids to take them home. So making sure that we have somebody who's a professional, understands how to do this, how to maximize what it is that we're doing. These are the sort of people that we have working for us now. We have a new website. The website is up. We're trying to put in new information, all the time, make sure it's fresh. But it's a lot easier to navigate. And again, going back to social media, it's just it's an avenue that we can take. It's available for us that we can all sort of use together. Putting an ad out on Facebook is something that sort of starts with us, but when you talk about our membership, it could expand exponentially if we just share it. If I share or retweet something, that's advertisement that didn't cost us $1. You talk about maximizing information that way, and it's a trickle-down effect. It's like I said, from the top to bottom, from our membership having ownership and getting our name out there because they believe in what we're doing. And it first starts with us in our product, and then believing, loving it, and sharing it.
So let's talk about the ECNL coming to Knoxville. I know you've had a couple of past experiences with Tampa and with Castle. Can you share those, and then also share what you think that means to the city of Knoxville?
Yeah, excited to see that that we're growing, we're taking steps in the right direction. When I was in Castle, I had an incredible experience with ECNL, being the club that it is. A ton of experience with sort of leagues like that, and it was sort of easy to embrace it and say this club was definitely ready for it. When I was in Tampa, after North Carolina, it had been a couple of years, and Tampa got ECNL. Again, excited to hear that ECNL was growing, that soccer was growing in our country, but it wasn't quite the same type of experience that I had in North Carolina. I think a lot of it had to do with the lack of experience that we had as a soccer culture in Tampa. We didn't know everything about ECNL. We jumped into it, and some of us sort of weren't ready for it. So certainly something that we want to make sure that we're informing our membership about, so that they fully know what it is, the sort of commitment that it takes. When you talk about how it affects us as a club, we're making strides to make sure that again, we are getting the same kind of exposure that ECNL can give you in that regional and that national type of exposure. Making sure that we are still leaving room and making room for the type of kids that we want, the well-rounded kids, the kids that absolutely love soccer. They want to compete, they want to be the best at it, but they want to compete in high school too. They want to compete in middle school, and they want to make sure they maybe have a little bit of a life outside of the club life, a little bit. It's the happy medium. It's making sure it was a healthy young life. But again, not diminishing what it is that we're doing, believing fully in what we're doing, and making sure that again, we're giving them the same opportunity.
And so you mentioned the regional and national exposure that we're trying to get our teams through the tournament and the showcases that you've put together for our coaches. And I know when I joined the club a couple of years ago, there seemed to be a lack of direction with helping our kids get into college, and now that's completely transformed. And I know that we've had a lot of success with our 99s and 98s boys in the fall, and the girls looking in the spring right now. Can you explain a little bit more with that and the processes we're going through to help our kids that want to play college make it to that level?
Yeah, certainly from where we were in the past, and that we were having some success, we were sending some kids to college. Now it's more of, like you say, a direction. You know, it's something that we want to make sure that it's a plan. It's something that we're doing. We're not leaving it up to chance just because that player just might be good. We're putting these kids in the situations. Our boys, for example, we received 15 of our boys received offers in the fall, 13 of which have already committed. Next week we're going to have another player commit. And what's really cool, and what we sort of talk about when having well-rounded kids is, hey, you know what? When I was 13 years old, I wasn't thinking about playing in college. I just really wanted to play soccer. I wanted to play soccer at a high level. And this particular kid who's signing next week, you know, soccer was a faraway dream. Soccer in college was a faraway dream, like something that wasn't going to happen. But it was the environment that he was in. It was, you know, his coaches putting him in the right spots and educating him and his family what it could do for him. That sort of, you know, allowed him to have the opportunity to finally say, yes, I do want it because that opportunity is there. So that's what our goal is. You know, whether you know you want to do it, or you're not sure, whether you know you don't want to do it, and you know what, you might just change your mind. That tends to happen. We've put you in the opportunity to say, yes, I'm in, and I'm ready.
And I know with the contacts that our staff has built up in the area recently, I know the girls went up to Indianapolis and had a number of coaches looking at them, and I'm sure that when their commitments come out, we're going to have the same kind of figures as the boys this side. I know the 03 girls this weekend, we're going to have 3 college coaches coming to watch us at U14. And it's early, but we're starting to get that attention. And I know with the contacts in the area that we have, there's more and more interest coming in our teams year by year, and people are already trying to set up friendlies with our boys teams in the fall. And so I know that there's great things happening with that. What else are we going to be doing to educate the parents as to what the processes are for all the different levels through NCAA and NAIA? You
know, Dunks, it's funny you say it's early, but in reality, these 03 girls, you know, they're a blink of an eye away from it being it's time. And I think the fact that there's coaches coming out to watch your girls already speaks volumes to what it is that you're doing with them and what they've done this year. But also, too, lets them know, hey, you know what? They're not coming here just because they've got nothing to do. They're coming here because you're the future. You're what they're looking at right now, especially with the girls. Recruiting is so different when you talk about the girls and you talk about the boys. It happens so much earlier for the girls. So when you talk about what we're going to do to make sure that we're giving our membership the right kind of tools and information, apart from taking their kids to these events, is making sure that they understand, hey, when is it my time for my kid to start getting recruited? What are some of the things that I have to do to make sure that we're picking the right schools or we're looking at the right schools? And again, just having that knowledge. For me personally, growing up, I wanted to play in college when I was younger. And I played for a very, very high level team. But the sort of information that I got was everybody's going to be knocking on my door. And in reality, that didn't happen. Things changed. I didn't want to play in college. But all the same, those that did, my teammates, you know, they didn't make it very far because we weren't prepared. We were very good in our own right, but just not ready to take that next step. And we learn from our mistakes. I'm trying to learn from my own experiences. And I just want to make sure that our membership is ready. Whether they want to do it, whether they don't want to do it, they're prepared for whether or not when they get to that day they want to decide and say, I'm in or I'm not.
Yeah, and I know having a number of our staff having recently graduated from playing college soccer as well, that's going to help for those boys and girls that need to ask those questions. They can go and reach out to those players that have just come out of the system. What does it take for me to join that, to get to the next level? What does it take for me to be doing now in order to get college, coaches to come and watch me and to take interest?
I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that people just, they won't think about right away. When you think about your future and playing in college, you think about, you know, the UNCs, the Stanfords, all, you know, the most prestigious schools that compete for a national championship every day. But you don't think about things like, you know, your own career after that, you know, your studies, the education part of it. Picking a school because the school is right for you, not just soccer. Speaking again from personal experience, you know, my wife had to redshirt her second year in Loyola Marymount University in LA, and being away from home as she was, because she chose the school, because the school was right for her, she was still in the right environment. She was still succeeding as a person, whether she was playing soccer due to her injury or not.
Yeah.
And these are things that we learn, again, through our experiences that we're sharing with our memberships. That, again, there isn't any kind of phase going into this big decision that our kids aren't ready to make.
Yeah. Well, Crush family, I hope that you enjoyed getting to know our new director of coaching and getting to ask you some of your burning questions. Fabio, any last words before we head out?
Yeah, guys, honestly, for me, I want to thank you again for inviting me into your home, letting me speak to you today. We're very excited to see what our teams are doing going forward as we end our seasons. I know there's a lot of events going on, State Cup, as we continue to qualify teams for State Cup, the tournaments, your end of season parties, what you guys are doing, all over the place. Take pictures, get it on our social media, hashtag crushing it, hashtag #NotchCrush, hashtag Crush Fam. Let's get it all out there. Let's share it. Let's let the world know what it is that we're doing. Let's be proud of who we are. Let's love the shirt. And don't forget to register for tryouts. Tryouts are just around the corner, and we want to make sure we see you there. Sorry, just do that again.
Okay. Is that
And take a step that way. You keep moving away from Fabio. That's good. Better. Okay.
So... Busted.